Greetings exiles. I continue my journey. I'll start this video with a little incident that happened. Cool boots. But this belt is better. Gravicious gave me this gift. I understand that many of my viewers are upset right now because it's not Mageblood, just a headhunter. But in fact, this unique belt has helped me a lot. This was the first real big drop on this journey. I hope it won't be the last. Now that I have a headhunter, it's time for Legion because I need a timeless jewel. And this is my atlas for Legion. Very weird atlas. But the thing is, one of my atlases is Abyss. And honestly, I'll have it until the end of my journey because it's a very strong strategy. My second atlas is Harbingers, Delirium, and Breach. And I need this atlas too. So I have one last atlas left, which I use for the mechanics I need at the moment. That's why the atlas looks pretty strange. But the main thing is that it has all the necessary nodes for Legion. Oh yes. Dune, Legion, and Headhunter. It was very fun. The next stage is 4 ways. Here I replaced the shield with a second sword because my new belt gives me defense, and you can never have too much damage. I got the timeless jewels I needed. I also spent a lot of divine orbs on rerolls. Unfortunately, I couldn't get jewels with good nodes. But in any case, I'm done with Legion because this parameter is important to me, not that one. This means that I can just use divine orbs until I get a good timeless jewel. And with Abyss, getting divine orbs is much easier than Legion grind. Next in my plans is Breach and Delirium. I need that unique helmet for double corruption. I also hope to find this armor with the modifiers I need. And Delirium combines well with Breach because we kill a lot of monsters and as a result, it gives us a lot of simulacrum splinters that I will need in the future. Because hunting for voices is in my plans and I will need a lot of simulacrum. That's enough for a start, but the time for this grind has not yet come. And some Breach armor. Nothing interesting. Unfortunately. The first ship has arrived. Let's see what interesting things it brought me. This is what I need. The rest is a bonus. Now I need blueprints for Heist and Alva for double corruption. My new atlas. Alva and Heist combine well. Plus shrines for more speed. And of course, the syndicate. My favorite mechanic. Since you're watching the video, I cut out the grind, so we'll move on to the interesting part. Another grind. Heist. This is the number of blueprints I found, and there are approximately 160 wings here. Some of them are fully revealed thanks to this atlas node. But most of them only have one revealed wing. Some of my viewers may think this is a waste of resources, but those of you who are familiar with Heist know that running contracts for the sake of revealing them is pointless and a waste of time. It's easier to farm more blueprints. Because it's very easy. But enough yapping, let's take a look at the lucky drop. Not a bad start. Rare armor, but I don't need it, but it's still a nice find. Big loot. Just what I need. And here's the most valuable loot for 160 wings. Not bad overall. Level 100. Another milestone. Very good. And another ship. This time with tattoos. The loot is pretty mediocre. Not gonna lie to you. Well, I hope I'll have better luck in the next stage. Because it's time for the temple. That's a lot of stuff and a lot of gamba. Here I would like to make a small disclaimer. As you may have noticed, a lot happens in this journey, and it takes a lot of time to get all these items. That's why the video comes out every 2 weeks. I would like to release videos every week, but unfortunately, I'm not a magician, so we have what we have. Besides, it's the end of the league, and I'm spending much less time on Path of Exile than I did at the beginning of the league. It sounds crazy, but what can you do? Anyway, let's try our luck. That's a miss. No way. Just what I need. On the second try. And although I don't need this sword in my current build, it's an important part that I may need in the future because I want to build an armor stacker with a different skill tree. But since this is SSF, I can't say for sure what I'll end up with. But in any case, I got what I wanted. It's a disaster, but you can't always win. And another poof. Sag. And boots and another failure. Because I need plus level to gems. That's a hit. Very nice. Also, I need Enlightened support. Preferably 2 pieces and preferably level 4. But so far, I haven't found anything. Fast crafting. Now I've freed up some skill points and can add Timeless Jewel. Aura effect and some dexterity. Cool. And Runegraft, which gave me about 600 energy shield and some evasion and armor for more damage. Very strong for this build. It's time for a new atlas. Alva, Beyond, and Evolution Shrines. The main goal is, of course, Mageblood, because this strategy gives a great chance for a raw Mageblood drop. This strategy also gives a lot of Voidborn Reliquary and Valdo's Puzzle Box, which can also potentially turn into Mageblood. Unfortunately, I can't use this unique helmet, and to increase the duration of shrines, I will only use this Runegraft. Not very good, but I have no other options. Holy FPS. I don't know about you, but it's kind of cancer for the eyes, and I don't know how other people did this all league. Just a disaster. But the loot is really good. Lots of tinks. Unfortunately, Mageblood never dropped, but I found a lot of Valdo's puzzle boxes. But they're all junk, of course. And a few Voidborn Reliquaries. But nothing interesting either. But enough fun, let's get back to serious business. I need a thread of hope, which means it's time for everyone's favorite boss. King of Yapping.
You want the Atlas? Take it. It's yours. But Oriath, I will burn to the ground.
Pretty quick. Thanks, game. Now I can save a lot of skill points. And make the most important upgrade for this build. Caster Mastery. Oh yeah. Finally. Now I don't have to click to open hordes. Big quality of life and the biggest upgrade so far. And more crafting. I crafted a new ring. Just essences spam. Much better than what I had. I also recrafted the last large cluster. And got all small clusters with 3 passives. Also, I crafted 1 small cluster with increased effect and introspection. Ideally, I need 5 more such clusters, but this crafting is quite annoying. And probably the best option is fracturing orbs. But if I spend such a valuable resource, I need level 84 clusters so that I can get a 35% increased effect, and that means delirium in T17 maps, which is not exactly what I want to do. For now, I'll leave everything as it is, but small clusters are something I'll need to come back to. In the meantime, a new atlas. Rogue Exiles. My main goal is Doriani's prototype for my mercenary. And the opportunity to get other unique items that I need. I got a few tinks and some T1 unique items, but nothing I needed, so I'm going back to the Abyss. As I said earlier, I really need Enlightened support because it's a key part of the build. But I haven't found anything yet. And when I saw this tink, I was very happy. 1.5 million kills and I got my first Enlightened. But a few hours later, a second Enlightened support arrived on the ship. Now all that's left is to level up these gems and send them to the temple for double corruption. Now when I have an Enlightened support, I can free up 1 jewel socket and add Watcher's Eye. So let's check out Elder. Here I want to say a big thank you to my mappers because they helped me save a lot of time and get the fragments I needed. Of course, it's not as optimal as if I had run these maps myself, but it's a huge time saver. The first one. Not the best option, but better than nothing. And another one. Now this is much better. Crit reduction is very useful. And from the big guy. Nothing interesting. I plan to kill more Uber Elders, but for that I need Shaper's fragments, but I realized that I don't want to fight the Shaper because it's a long and boring battle. So no more Uber Elders. I also found my first good breach armor. Of course, I would like to get a modifier like this. But for starters, this one will do. But crafting for my new armor will come later because I need to prepare and gather the necessary resources. Namely, beasts and bases. At this stage, I have 3 main upgrades. Doriani's prototype for my mercenary. With this unique armor and special rings, I will be able to get a very big DPS boost. Overall, it's not the rarest item, but unfortunately, I haven't found it yet. Next is the Holy Grailed Mageblood. The best belt in the game. And for us, it's a key item that gives us a lot of armor and survivability. It's quite difficult to get, but you just need to focus on it. Since the main part of the build is finished, I can now focus on this goal. And the last item is these unique gloves. And in my opinion, they are harder to get than Mageblood. Uber Exarch farming is a pain in the ass, especially when the drop rate for these gloves is around 1%. Plus, with the current build, it'll be tough to pull off. I need more damage or survivability. So for starters, I need Doriani's prototype or Mageblood. And as a bonus, there's Voices and Simulacrum. But the chances are even lower than with the Celestial Brace, but in any case, I'll try. Maybe my streamer client will help me. But that will be the final grind. But all this will be in the third part of my journey. Thank you all for watching and commenting. I appreciate it. Also, I would be very grateful for your likes and subscription. Bye everyone, and see you in the new video.